I had some people say to me that they saw your book and they're like, well, I'm not securely attached, so that's why I don't have any friends. She said it's all about people who are securely attached, and therefore, I'm anxious attached or I'm avoidant attached. I, of course, never heard any of these attached things when I was growing up either. Boundaries, attachment, it's a whole new vocabulary out there. Seriously, for people like myself, the vocabulary has changed. Like, so what is the advice to people who are not securely attached that they can still be securely attached in friendship?
Yeah, well, first to say that you can change your attachment style, and the book is literally about how to change your attachment style. So this is not like you're doomed if you haven't had these healthy relationships. There's even a term for it, or insecure, right? And I think one of the biggest tips that I share in the book that I think is a really great tip for people looking to become more secure. These insecurely attached people, they struggle with issues of safety. They come into relationships feeling unsafe. So I tell people that are insecurely attached to begin to assume that other people like you, right? Because when you make this assumption, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When people are told to make this assumption, they're then more friendly and more warm towards other people, and they are liked more. Whereas when you're insecurely attached, you're constantly threatened that other people might reject you, and that actually triggers you to be more cold and withdrawn. And then you reject other people and they reject you back. And so coming in with that really optimistic assumption that, hey, maybe people will be open to me. Maybe people will want to connect with me. I'm going to assume that they're going to be open to this and enjoy this, and that I will too, can be a really powerful way to motivate you to create those connections.
And what about the idea? I think, Lori, I read, I think in one of your articles that you were writing about making friends with yourself. Actually, turning what you want, or maybe you're not getting out there, but turning it on yourself so you can begin to feel what that feels like. So if you're at work and you go, nobody likes me at work, nobody likes me in my church group, nobody likes me in my mom group, maybe it's like, I don't like me.
Right. We have these stories that we carry around, and often, like Marisa was saying, they're these old stories, and they're based on experiences that we had earlier that no longer apply to what's going on in our lives. And so, I think that what happens is we have these stories like, I'm unlovable, or I can't trust anyone, or nothing's going to work out for me. And those are just old stories. And so I think part of it is changing your story, that you have to, make sure that you're telling an accurate story. And I think for so many people, attachment styles are very malleable, that you just have to be aware of them. And the self-fulfilling prophecy that Marisa was talking about is so true. If your story is, no one's going to like me, or I can't trust anyone, then you kind of pick people that are untrustworthy. You pick people who are going to hurt you in the way that you've been hurt in the past. And then you say, see, nothing works out for me. We have this saying, we marry our unfinished business.
Yeah.
And the same thing in friendships. We choose friends based on our unfinished business. So if you choose
explain that a little bit more. Explain that.
So if you choose friends who are going to let you down or disappoint you in the way that you were disappointed in the past, then you're going to say, see, people are untrustworthy. But if you choose people who are different, then you're going to choose people who do show up for you, who are reliable, who are kind to you, who you celebrate your triumphs, who are there for you when you're having a difficult time. That's a new experience. And then you can rewrite your story and say, oh, it's not that I'm unlovable, or it's not that everyone is untrustworthy. It's that I've been choosing people based on my past. And now here's a new story. I'm going to write a new chapter where I choose people who are healthy and who I can have reciprocal, healthy, nourishing relationships with.